Elementary, he says. Elementary. Does that fool not know I didn't even make it to kindergarten? Much less elementary. Well, he'll learn. He'll learn how capable I truly am, one way or another. Okay, I'll give myself kudos for that one. That wasn't too bad. Hello. Hi. Oh dear. I'm back again. And this time with yet another Kraken case. Not a Kraken case, not yet. That's Sunday. Sherlock out of 10. Thank you. Yes, but to those who are watching the VOD, welcome on in, welcome on in. I'm, of course, your ever grateful host, Ricky T. Bones. We're just waiting for the Twitch ads to finish, as per usual. But how you doing, Centrion? Hello to all the lurkers out there. Hello, of course, to the VOD watchers once again. And, of course, we are appreciative of any likes given, any subscriptions made, and just time spent, because time is non-refundable. Cracking a case now, cracking a case on Sunday. Yep. I fear the fisherman that we will have to deal with on Sunday, but hey, at least I get a day off for once, twice, 3 times a lady. Man, 3 days in a row would be lovely. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should give myself 3 days off in a row. No, we've got too many cases to crack. We got too many crimes to solve. We got too much justice to serve, man. And justice is not best served cold, it's best served hot. Anyway, not a great day for me, but hopefully some detective time will change that. I hope so, Centrion. Thank you for being here, even though your day's not going all that great. I hope I alleviate some of that stress. But yes, we are going into yet another big case, which is why we start an hour early. It's been a tradition on this channel that I try my best not to make my Sherlock Holmes games two-parters. With this one in particular, Crimes and Punishments is split up between multiple cases based on the Sherlock Holmes books. And only once have we had to take a break in between parts, in between sections of the story. And it feels disjointed. I'm not gonna lie, it feels disjointed when I do that. So I try my best to solve the case in one stream. Whether or not I will remains to be seen, but I have yet to be wrong about my suspects. And that is what's keeping me going. That's what makes this exciting. I have yet to be wrong about my choice of suspects. I find my man every time, but I know that's going to get difficult the further we get into the game. So I'm excited. I'm always excited to play this, but my voice, I might try to be a little less talkative this time around. Thankfully, I've got plenty of Sherlock and Lestrade to keep us company, but I might talk a little bit less because my voice is, well, it's on day 3 of talking for several hours at a time. It is a good detective game. It's a great detective game. The devs have gone on to make greater things, and I kind of want to play them down the line, but for now, I'm happy just to do some old school sleuthing as the Sherlock Holmes. I'm excited. I'm excited. Really? I've got, what is it, the Testament of Sherlock Holmes in the back pocket? That's also on GOG. Yeah, the OG for real. One of the best to do it. Narcissistic, yes. Drug-addled, yes. But damn, that man knew how to serve justice like sweet cherry pie. All in all, I do got some good news. The mystery quiz has been finished. All parts are ready to go for the 18th of August. I just have to double check with my contenders. Make sure that they're going to show up on time. Hopefully they won't be delayed. Hopefully things will go smoothly. And then I got one more big surprise that I thought up at the last second, and I am challenging myself to complete it this week. Maybe into next week. But I'm trying to stop my ambition from keeping me to working on the rebrand, because that's still not done. Oh shoot, that reminds me, I need to I need to double check on something as soon as possible. Shoot a message to somebody when I get the chance. But all in all, things are going good behind the scenes. Things are smooth. I'm hopefully keeping myself well fed. And I think it's high time we get to the game screen so that we can have a small recap from what little I recall about the game. I did not have time to research the VODs because, well, you know, it is my birth month, and the Bones family is not one for surprises, so every year me and my brother have to come up with a list to give to Mama Bones and Papa Bones because they don't want to take a chance with money and get me something I'm not gonna like. So I keep having to figure out the madness that is, what does Ricky want to treat himself with? And the answer is usually nothing because I'm very selfless. It's a curse. It's a very bad curse I deal with. But all that being said, I'm rambling a bit too much, and we got 4 hours of sleuthing to do. Let's get on it. Selfless. Yeah, sorry. My mouth is very tired, apparently. I guess it's from reading all that stuff recently. Yeah, anyway, vamos. Let's get into the game. Alright. Just one more thing. Ha, that's a Columbo quote. Right. Okay. So, I cannot tell you whether or not this is accurate because it's been a long time since I played this game. And since we've played this game on stream. But here's what I can tell you. We are Detective Sherlock Holmes. Lestrade every once in a while has come over to get our help regarding something. And what we have done so far is, let's see, yes, we have solved the fate of Black Peter. And his end came at the hands of a friend, a dear friend. But the overarching theme right now is that there seems to be a organized criminal agent or agents working out there. I don't recall their name exactly, but what we have stopped so far as the great Sherlock Holmes is the fate of Black Peter from remaining unknown. He was killed by a fellow man of his, a fellow sailor, who was simply trying to defend himself against a drunken beast of a man. Then we solved a phantom train mystery at a local station. There was a train that came through the mist and disappeared before it could reach the station. They were unsure exactly why, and we found out that it was in fact a gigantic ruse. The train itself was a construct created by two people who wanted to, what was it? I believe make a deal or strike back at some Mexicans or South Americans, maybe Brazilians of some kind. Anyway, that ended in political intrigue, and so because it was in the realm of politics, we decided to hand it over to, oh dear. Now, what is dear Sherlock Holmes' brother's name? Mycroft. That's right. Mycroft handled what happened to that man in Riddle on the Rails. Our third case saw us heading out to Greek baths, where a man was murdered as he was resting in the baths amidst all the steam. That was an interesting one. It took us all over the place trying to figure out exactly what we were looking for, and it turned out to be a crime of historical protection. Somebody who ran the baths was embezzling, was attempting to sell off the historical baths to a buyer who would not respect its historical quality, and so a man took it upon himself to create an ice dagger. The perfect murder weapon in a steaming room like that disappears without a trace after the deed is done. Of course, being historians ourselves and lovers of history, we did exonerate him. So far, I have not felt the need to bring down the hammer of justice upon anybody in this game. We are allowed, after our deductions are made, to exonerate or persecute the guilty. Whomever we seem is the guilty. And so far we have been merciful. Whether or not that continues on in the fourth case, the Abbey Grange Affair, we shall see. Enjoy your lurkin, Tadon Zero. Welcome on in. Alright. So, I'm going to have to remember all the controls. There isn't many. There isn't too much of a problem. And I'm going to have to remember how this game likes to function logically. Because every detective game, even though it's supposed to be realistic, always has their own meta. Alright.
Come, Watson, come. The game is afoot, not a word. Into your clothes and come.
I say, Holmes.
I'll wait for you in the sitting room.
Oh yes, and all the voice acting is
I've just received
beautiful.
a note from Inspector Lestrade. A letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oi!
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Very well. What are we looking at here? Okay, so it's left click to interact with... Oh, dear. Hi. Sorry. I don't know why he was peeping in there.
The letter's on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
Toby.
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
Pshaw, good sir. Oh, yeah,
The
also...
letter's on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
I do not know how this game is going to run with my model, because it has been a while, but I haven't made upgrades, so... Funny thing is, this game can feel cozy sometimes. I know, right? It's nice. Alright, so if I lose frames, rickeys per second, I should see it in the corner of my eye. Alright, let's have a look-see here. 221 Baker Street, London. Sherlock Holmes. This wax seal is very interesting.
A wax seal with the monogram E.B.
Custom made. Brackenstall.
The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
Well, whoever sent this is, well, safe to say well off.
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
So Lestrade used their stationery and family crest. It's their stationery. It's their seal. Be a Ricky per second. Don't be seconds per Ricky. What does that even mean? Let's see. My dear Holmes, I should be very glad of your immediate assistance in what promises to be a most remarkable case. It is something quite in your line. Except for releasing the lady, I will see that everything is kept exactly as I found it. But I beg you not to lose an instant, as it is difficult to leave Sir Eustace there. Yours faithfully, Inspector Lestrade. So, the corpse has a name. Ah, I see what you mean.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
When is it not?
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man.
Ooh, somebody's got him rattled.
These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes
So he
sense.
timed it out himself.
Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
Oh, yes. The voice direction is absolutely wonderful. What is this? Ooh, okay. It's our chronicle. And some souvenirs. Ugh. Anyway. Let us be off. What ho, the game is afoot. Not a foot, a foot. Don't get weird about it. Right. Just making sure I got Ricky's per second. Let us proceed. Ooh, nice.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
Hey?
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
Oh
A
dear.
violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Much obliged, Watson.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
I dare say the fleur-de-lis is quite interesting.
Lord Ramsay Brackenstall.
A pleasurable fellow, I'm sure.
Baron Lyndon Brackenstall.
They all look so happy to see me.
Lord Brigham Brackenstall.
Do they not get much sleep? Look at the red under their eyes.
Sir Warthen Brackenstall.
Or maybe it's perhaps a family trait. Alright. So I'm going to double check my keybinds really quick. Gameplay. How to play. Thank you. Okay. So Q, D, R. Perform action. Select actions. Deduction space. Okay, that's right. Launch Sherlock talent. Launch imagination. First and third person view are on R. That's good. I forgot about that. Shift is run. Tab is open the casebook. Caps lock runs and walks us permanently, depending on how we like it. Okay. That's right. This is how we view details. That's first person if we need it. That's so nice, actually. And then if we need to run everywhere, we just take this.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
So sorry. Let's go have our chat. Hello there.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself.
Ooh.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
And I, the dead
I
man.
suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that. even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Let's get a profile of this fair maiden first. Fresh bruises. From the beating. Let's have a closer look. She does not look well at all, no sir. Golden brooch. She's Australian. Interesting. Or she has Australian. Elegant dress, of course. As befitting of a lady of her stature and... Hello, what's this? Older bruises. There's the wedding ring. Appropriate. Do I see anything else? Pale cheeks. Old bruises. So he may have beat her. Australian brooch. She's not trying to hide them either. She seems to be a woman who enjoys elegant wear, yet somehow seems to be possibly locked up in a golden cage and possibly far away from home. So, let's start with what happened last night.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
And now you tell
Yes, madam,
me.
It is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... Oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the
11.
French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Yeah, a hot poker. A poker is something you use to stoke coals in a fireplace. It's made of iron, usually blunted or sharp. Yeah, a hot poker. Yes, ouch indeed. And heavy. So there's something missing, Lestrade tells me.
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
Just a silver. Why would they tie her up and then murder the man of the house and only take one thing? That's what irks me. Is that maybe, just maybe, either she's lying about some things or this was a scheme of some kind. They hate the man of the house. That's what I'm thinking. It feels like a targeted attack. Yes. Hello, Dahlia. I'm early. You're late. Correct. Yes, exactly. Or she hates the man of the house. Yeah. Anyway, so, not a happy marriage, huh?
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
I doubt that. But yet you've got something on your hand there. Something that looks like his own knuckle print.
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
How do you... Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again.
Again, you say?
Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
So she's better off that
Your
she's
ladyship.
dead. Very well. To be tied to a man is a living hell, she says. And starts her conversation with an unhappy marriage. With a heavy poker. Would a woman of this era be able to do such a thing? Women are always capable of doing many a horrible, gruesome thing, if I'm being honest. So we won't roll her out just yet. Teresa,
Teresa,
how do you do?
I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
So she puts herself, for the record, the mistress of the house puts herself at 10 p.m. engrossed in a book. 11 p.m. she goes to get a candle and meets the men. It happens at midnight. So first we're going to get a good look at you, madam. Wrinkles. Gonna say then, based on your hair, you are definitely around the age of 40 plus. Very refined wear. Suscitation, caring. Ah. Coffee stain. So she may have been the one to pick her up. What else? What else am I missing here? See, I see that, but I don't... The hands. Working hands. Muscled and grooved. So, she's definitely not faking whatever she is. That's for sure.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed.
Wait.
That's all I know.
Her tied to the floor. That's immediately sticking out of my head. Screamed, went down, and she was tied. That testimony. Tied to the chair, and him on the floor with his head smashed. More than I went to bed. Okay. Heard my mistress scream, and then down I ran to find her tied to a chair, and him on the floor with his head smashed. Where did she say that she was tied? Well, in her own testimony. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist, felled me unconscious to the ground. I found myself secured to a dining room chair. Yes, so... This corroborates, however... Why would she scream? Why wouldn't she scream seeing the man in the window? Seeing the man in the living room. And then only scream when her husband was brutally murdered. That's sticking out to me, but I think that might just be... that might just be a little overlooked detail. The Times. This newspaper may come in handy. Let's see. Family business booming. The Randall gang is back on the street. Less than a fortnight ago, this infamous family of burglars, the Randalls as they are known, made their reappearance by way of brutal but successful intrusion into one of the wealthier homes in Sydenham. The police are already on their trail, however the details of the crime are being kept confidential, including the name of the victim. A witness was able to provide a precise description of all three men, and this will surely give the police a chance to complete their profile on this family of delinquents. We would take the liberty of reminding our esteemed readers about this highly dangerous band, and to provide a full description as it is available at this moment. The gang has been in business for some considerable time, being a family of three, a father and his two sons. The elder, Jack Randall, is a man in his 40s and already gray-haired, while of average height and build. Being the mastermind behind the burglaries, he retains control over his sons. Hello, Skull. Got two friends who start with an SK. Hello, Skull. How you doing? We are in the midst of a quiet investigation. Hope you're doing good this fine evening. Gray-haired, while of average height and build. Being the mastermind behind the burglaries, he retains control over his sons, both of whom are close in age, but very different in appearance. The first son, William Randall, is tall and broad-shouldered, with a small, disproportionate head. The younger brother, Melvin Randall, is of somewhat weaker constitution, and is as skinny as a rake. The gang is wanted not only for their frequent thefts and break-ins, but for their exceptionally brutal pirate career they enjoyed before returning to England. Be alert, and may your valuables stay safe. That sticks out to me. Gray-haired, average height and build. Tall and broad-shouldered with a small, disproportionate head. As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had stepped into the room. Elderly, broad-shouldered man. This does not describe them. '40s, gray-haired, average height and build. Broad shoulder, small disproportionate head. Interesting.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Conveniently so. Criminals are well known. Okay. So. Were the Randalls blamed? Or was it the Randall gang? Testimonies and evidence match and point to the Randall gang, or the robbery was faked, and the whole story was invented in order to blame Sir Eustace's death on the Randalls. It's a good starting point. It's a good starting point. But we gotta make more traction than that. Let's have a clearer look around. Oh, who's this? It's the lady and her mistress.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one?
I wonder if we can tell from the back. Rock of Gibraltar.
So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
I see. So they came from Australia. Thank you, Dahlia. Oy. Posture is looking good.
A trapper's hut.
What is the game trying to tell me, I wonder? Don't think anything more. Alrighty. Enjoy your lurking, and if you gotta go, you gotta go. Thanks for coming by, Dahlia.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
I see. I don't think there's anything
My
else.
mistress is very tired. Can't you allow her to her room?
So sorry, but this is an active crime scene. And if there's an active crime scene, you best understand that things are... What's this? Scratches.
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
Ah, look at that. What's a wealthy house without a couple of secrets?
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it. This is...
Alright. Madam, if you don't mind, we are doing an active investigation and I would like to have every piece of evidence out to display. If you don't mind, could you open the safe?
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it.
I see.
Your ladyship?
Bracketsall is a pretty metal surname, yeah. You're not wrong there, Centurion. Okay. Well then.
The body is still in the dining room where the murder took place.
If it's busted open, I may have to censor this. I probably should have applied the right tags before I started this stream. Hello, another Times paper. Not interactable, this one. Alright. Have you finished your preliminary investigation?
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
Watson, you were supposed to do that. Looking at dead bodies is your thing. I mean, admittedly, I'm the greatest detective known to man, and I'm definitely not squeamish, but, you know, you're a doctor. You're definitely better qualified for this. Oh, alright, fine. Well, at least his skull is intact, so this isn't going to be grisly.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
Facing his opponent, I see. Yep, an iron poker.
That must be the murder weapon.
Was it blunt?
The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
Ooh, I see it.
That must be the murder weapon.
It's hooked. Or rather, it is perfectly angled to act as a hammer. Or a pike at an angle. Therefore, when it went into his skull, he immediately died from the blow.
Quite a large stick. A formidable weapon.
Wonder if there's anything hiding in it. The man had his dogs out, so that means he was unaware people were going to be visiting.
Barefoot. He had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress.
Yeah, what I said. So this is where the murder happened.
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
Not one I concur with. That's too much spatter. And that being as thin as it is, it's highly unlikely that it would have survived, you know, not being dented in any way. Like, that thing looks pristine aside from the blood on it. Something here. Hello?
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me. A fur trader's cabin.
Someone taller, huh? The Randalls are starting to look more and more like our men. But let's continue observing everything.
A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed. Chateau Calon Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru.
3 glasses.
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured.
I see. Same with this
glass
one.
has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing.
Wine traces, but no visible beeswing. So this one in the middle was poured directly from the bottle, and this one was poured after being decanted. What about this one?
This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other 2 are clear.
Plenty of... Okay. Glass with beeswing and the 2 glasses. What is our theory from here? There were 3 people drinking wine out of these glasses. One of the 3 probably prefers wine with bee swing. There were 2 people drinking wine out of these glasses. The remaining glass with the bee swing consisted solely of the dregs from the other 2 glasses. 3 makes the Randalls at the spot. Let's look at the rest of our clues. From Australia. Violent behavior. No. Hello, what's this? Violent behavior. The death of Sir Eustace could have been due to his accidentally striking his head on a fireplace grate. Then the Randalls would be blamed. And there were only 2 people drinking. Is that our assessment here? It could have been an accident. Interesting. The dead body and the bent poker. Could have been an accident, or it could have been due to the poker blow. So say it was the Randall gang, and there were 3 people drinking after his death. Still no concrete connections here. What about the criminals? Violent behavior? No. Sir Eustace Brackenstall assaulted his wife 1 week ago. Lady Brackenstall arrived in England from Australia and married Sir Eustace Brackenstall shortly thereafter. There were witnesses who identified the criminals, the notorious Randall gang. And right now our connections are that it was between 2 to 3 people who drank wine. The Randall gang may have been blamed, and either the poker blow or the fireplace grate was the cause of his death. An intriguing case so far with no clear evidence.
The death was instant.
The hunting scene.
Oh, you seem pleased. Now, what's this?
The hunting scene.
Yes, another hunting scene. Ooh. Yep. Let's see.
These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France.
Ooh. Intriguing.
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is like, it's weird that the Randalls would just go in. They would either have to have, like, targeted the man, or otherwise, but why would they steal? What, just to feed themselves?
A bottle of wine is missing here.
That would be the wine on the table, I believe.
An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
If the man of the house was dead and the maid was unaware and the woman of the house was tied up, what reason would they have to not just slaughter everybody in the house? If they were murderers, why not finish the job? No, this feels off. Feels very off.
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
Alright. Time to do a little bit more digging. Nothing comes up on the radar, though.
A trapper's hut. A trapper's hut.
So many pictures of trappers' huts and hunting parties.
This house feels rather sinister. I can't say that I like it here.
I concur. These big mansions are always feeling creepy. So...
A deer hunt. A deer hunt. A fur trader's cabin.
very interesting accoutrement, I must say. Is this maybe the chair that she was tied to? Yep, that's it. So that's where they got the rope from. They cut the summoner's spell.
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail.
A dog?
I will take it with me.
Toby! You get to be useful
This is the chair that
instead of just
Lady
being adorable.
Brackenstall was tied to.
Inspect the dining room has been completed. Inspect the room where Lady Brackenstall was resting, I see. So there's a couple more things.
This case is a simple one, isn't it, Holmes?
Not quite, my good man. Not quite. I'll talk to you in a moment, Lestrade. Maybe we can open it ourselves.
Let us try to open this safe. This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
Okay. Alright. That. There we go. Then to the right. This was definitely intended for like analog use. And now to the left once more, but with feeling. You're not supposed to be able to do this with a lock like this, by the way. Whoa-ho! Well, we just committed larceny in front of a widow. That's fine. See, look at all this. Why isn't this gone?
It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal. Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care.
Without care means they're not really valuable to the individual. Mayhaps mementos of Gibraltar. Wouldn't be much of a safe if you could do this. No, you're right. I think, I want to say, Mr. Blackwell, wherever you are, consider getting a refund. And a medical report. Now this is intriguing. Sir Eustace, your current physical and mental state is of great concern. There are several signs of a hepatic decompensation. Hepatic decompensation. The last time that we met, Your eyes were bloodshot, and your skin was tinged with yellow. There was a particular odor from your breath that is common in those suffering from liver damage. Then there are the lung abscesses that we have discussed. The leg cramp you described to me are caused by an alteration to the nervous system, which, in turn, is caused by an excess of alcohol. That includes your tremors. Your liver seemed excessively hard at the time of your examination, which is a sign of evolving cirrhosis. There are also signs of ascites, fluid in the peritoneal cavity, which are evident with your swollen stomach. The pain beneath your left rib indicates a pancreatic malady, which may lead to your fatal and fulminant pancreatitis. Your condition may pose a risk to others. Your excessive alcohol consumption lowers your self-control and heightens your aggression. I am available to help you with this problem. There are a number of treatment options. So the man was dying of the drink. Liver failure, abscesses. He was poisoning himself. He was on the brink, and every sip he took, every bottle he drank, threw him into a blind rage. We have much to discuss, madam. I would like to question you on this.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
So, if perchance we somehow offer them a bottle of wine, we may be able to place them at the scene of the crime. Teresa, what do you make of these wine glasses? Or perhaps you can tell me about the silver, or, in this case, Mr. Blackwell's history of violence.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behaviour.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before.
She is from Australia.
Well, with his title and his money and his false London ways.
Both
if
of
she
them.
made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was especially hard for her.
Well, then. That's very interesting. Lady Brackenstall seldom went out after her arriving in England. It was commonly known that she had no social life nor any close friends. And she arrived in England from Australia and married Sir Eustace Brackenstall shortly thereafter. This brings up a new thread. Lady is acquainted with someone from the Rock of Gibraltar, or Lady Brackenstall married Sir Eustace shortly after arriving in England and remained at home during that time. There is little possibility that she or her maid are acquainted with anyone in the country. Say it's not the Randall gang. Say it was only 2 people. And say... things aren't lining up at all. Let's put some more clues together. Knotted rope. A sailor's knot. What's this then? It is Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. We are in the depths of our mind trying to figure this out, and we're gonna have to go on an ad break in about 3 minutes, so unfortunately I gotta pause it right here. But just to bring you up to speed, Buckshot, we are currently investigating the Grange Abbey Affair. And all I can tell you right now is that a man by the name of Blackwell has been murdered. His lady friend, or his lady, is not exactly the most mournful type over his death. The maid hates him, and apparently a trio, a family of burglars known as the Randall Gang, were the ones who perpetrated the crime, his murder. Allegedly, he had a hot poker shoved through his skull at the time of death. We're not sure if we believe that, but apparently Sir Eustace Blackwell was suffering from cirrhosis and mania. Mild madness, if you will, every time he took a sip of the drink. I'm not exactly sure what to make of this. It sounds fake. It sounds like mayhaps the Australian mistress may have orchestrated this and found the perfect people to blame based on this Times article that we found on her desk. It would take a lot of force to shove a red-hot poker through the skull, yes. But keep in mind this. This was not your average hot poker. This was a hammer point hot poker. That right there is at the perfect angle where fulcrum would definitely assist the piercing of his skull. The other option is that he fell on the fireplace grate mistakenly and bashed his head open through you with that. Yeah. Red hot, however, I highly doubt. I think it was just used as a weapon, as a nearby weapon. But we've got to take a small ad break in about a minute. So, wouldn't it be bent then? That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, like the grate being bloody but not bent. I don't know. I mean, it is a cast iron grate. Like this thing is meant to withstand fire. And I've handled a couple of those grates. They are heavy. They are heavy duty. Yeah, but it was not red hot. It seems to be like it was just used as a nearby tool of destruction.
That must be the murder weapon.
It does have blood on it. Or is it just nearby? I can't tell from here. Unfortunately, Mr. Holmes cannot crouch down. Alright, ads are coming around, so we'll be right back after these messages. And now we wait for 3 minutes, gazing upon this. Yeah, I was just using fancy liquid. Did I say red hot? Oh dear. Look at these lovely laminate floors. Intriguing. Alright. So I'm guessing then. We'll have to determine this. Piece of bell rope that was used to tie Lady Brackenstall to the chair. It may still have the scent of the intruders. Toby can hopefully help us out with this. Two glasses with traces of decanted wine without bee swing, and a third glass with wine and a large amount of bee swing were found in the dining room. Somebody who likes bee swing. Who likes that additive? Bee swing. 2 glasses of wine and a third. Now, given all the clues we've got so far, this would assume that there is a third tall Australian man that they know that wanted Mr. Blackwell dead. Lord Blackwell, sorry. Because that has to be, they have to be able to reach that rope, and neither of those ladies are definitely up for the task. So it's going to remain to be seen exactly who could have perpetrated this. But I am enjoying the slow nature of this game as per usual. We'll just have to wait and see exactly how this unfolds, but it looks like just by judging by the pictures, like the redness of the eyes, the gauntness, the sickly nature. Maybe cirrhosis runs in Sir Blackwell's family. Maybe that is his curse. Hard to say, but all these people look worse for wear, I must admit. Not one soul here looks like they have not seen the devil, or death himself. Charming, to say the least. Very charming. Alright, one moment. Just need to set up some things here, and done. Okay. All the detectives are back in one place. The investigation can resume. Lestrade, we have to talk. So, about our stiff. He was not a very well-liked man when he was alive, was he?
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
Oh my God.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
I see, so you're part of this hush-hush situation. The man was indeed a monster. So this corroborates with what we know about him. Sir Eustace was violent towards his wife. Violent towards all, in fact. So, let's say there were 3 people. No, none of this works out together. Still no connections. Intriguing. And then 2 people doesn't make sense because the Randalls are 3. More research will have to be done. Alright. There's nothing more for us to learn here. Time for us to go back out. Oh, look at that. The courtyard is actually a place we can walk around. Easy access. Intriguing. I guess they don't intend for them to make it past the gates. Very well. Wonder what we can learn from here. Simple well. Nothing of note. Simple fountain. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. It would show up if I needed to use that. No 4th century around here. Very much so. I'm enjoying this little walk around England. Let's pick up the pace. Hello, we have an outside shed. But nothing of note. Just some gardening tools. I see. There wouldn't happen to be a way for us to leave. Yes, there is. Okay. But nothing for us to see around here. Not much at all. No mud tracks. No nothing. Which is strange, to say the least. But it wasn't muddy or raining at any time. So I guess there's no trail for us to follow. Let's go ahead and head back to Baker Street. Give it to our bloodhound, Toby. See if we can't find a trace. Alright, Toby? Let's see what you can sniff
Come on,
out.
Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case. I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
Alright. I'm assuming we need to go back to... He's with us! Good boy! Who is the best boy? Who's the best boy? Who's the best crime fighter? You are! You are! Sorry. I get a strange way when I'm talking to cute animals.
Search, Toby.
We get to play as a dog. This is the best game. This is the best game. This is the best game. We get to play as the little waddling dog. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I knew there had to be a reason this was exterior. This was all actual exterior. This is the greatest game. I'm sorry, this is the greatest detective game we're ever gonna play. Nothing else tops it. Not even L.A. Noire. Nothing. Aha. What a human can see, what a human can't see, a dog certainly can.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
What's this? Another scent here. Okay. His little tail wag. Oh, it's precious. What's this?
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
Maybe that's where the silver was stashed. Anything else, Toby? Or is it time for your treats? One more thing. I see. So this may be where they escaped to.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall.
Well, that gives us
criminals
a good
left the
canvas.
house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Well, that
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
good boy, Toby. All right. Stay, boy. It's time for the man of the hour to start looking around and do his own sniffing. So, let's start with the shed. A hook.
This hook might be useful.
What's this?
Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved.
Empty bags, you say?
Small gardening tools. Nothing of great interest.
Yeah, he reminds me of, what was his name?
This old
Beethoven?
suitcase sounds
Columbo's
hollow.
dog?
It must be empty.
An empty suitcase, empty bags, a hook, and bags of seed. Interesting. Following their footsteps, that would lead us to the well. Why exactly? Oh-ho!
There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
Oh, very simple. Remove the buckets and attach a hook. And here we go. Prank games were never my specialty, but Mr. Holmes seems to be a natural. So, this is what happened to the bag.
Silverware? This is hardly a coincidence.
Now that's interesting. Why would the Randalls steal all the silverware and then simply throw it down the well? There's no Pyrrhic victory here. There's no reason to throw down fine silver. This feels like it was ditched to make it look like it was a crime. Hello?
The Brackenstall coat
Yep.
of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
So why was it in this well? Robbery is the motive. Robbery is confirmed as the motive for the crime. The criminals may have plans to return for the silverware that they dumped. Imitated robbery. The robbery could have been imitated to explain Sir Eustace's death. The silverware was not supposed to be found. That's my thinking. In which case, the Randalls were blamed, and only 2 people could have been drinking. And we finally have a theory. Sir Eustace was murdered by the one person who was visiting that night. It was he who tied up Lady Brackenstall. He is tall and strong. And therefore, a sailor who was acquainted. But why? Who? It seems open and shut, but there's still so many angles to the case we still haven't seen. Plenty more to discover, I reckon. Well, let's go see what happens when we tell Miss Blackwell that her beloved silver has been discovered. I hope she rewards as well, perhaps with a kiss. Lestrade, we found the stolen goods.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Indeed. Alright, let's go tell the lady the good news. And the maid that she no longer has to replace the silverware. Alright, madame. You can take that frown and turn it upside down and maybe put some makeup on those bruises. Your silverware has been found.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
Is that true? I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes. I couldn't tell if that felt wooden or not. nervous, maybe. Let's try it on the maid.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Very uninterested. How intriguing. Well, we still don't have any leads about where to go from here. Investigate the murder at Abbey Grange. Alright. So we're going to have to perform an analysis on the rope now. Back to Baker Street we go. I believe it's time for you to have your well-deserved rest, Toby. You've done the world a great service. Thank you for being man's and my best friend.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
It's time for me to do some experiments. Now, let's examine this here rope.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut.
Smoothly.
Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope.
Well, I believe it was a knife.
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
First try. So, this was no ordinary murderer. This was a murderer who was well knowledged and had a well-maintained knife. Interesting. The bell rope was not torn, but cut with a knife as sharp as the type which sailors use, and the bell rope on the chair was tied with a sailor's knot. Now, granted, the Randalls are also pirates, so they're also sailors. The rope was cut once with a sharp knife and tied quickly into sailors' knots. That could indicate that the intruder had a sailor's background. The person who was visiting that night was probably a sailor. Now, the Randalls are still under suspicion, but they don't necessarily have a connection here. So let's say it was 3 people. It was the Randalls. The Randalls were in fact the issue here. And we have a new assessment. Sir Eustace was murdered by the Randall gang. Robbery is confirmed as the motive of the crime. The case is too simple for you. Glory to Lestrade. Take this opportunity to give all the credit to your friend Lestrade. Your name will not appear in the press. Trump the police. The speed with which you resolve this thorny problem is indicative of genius. The police naturally only demonstrated their incompetence. That's not it. I can tell just by how long this can go. It is not the Randall gang. Now, a deadly accident. No acquaintance. Brings up a new theory. A simple domestic accident. The death of Eustace was an accident caused by a struggle with his wife. Lady Brackenstall and her maid committed the crime in self-defense. You decide that there is no point in blaming this poor woman. Lady Brackenstall and her maid killed Sir Eustace and attempted to cover their crime. They deserve to be treated as criminals. Interesting that we've already got 2 deductions here already. And we've only had 1 location. Curious. but I don't think so. I think Poker Blow is definitely to blame. And they're acquainted with a sailor who helped them out. This may have been a crime of passion, and they're simply covering up for the man. So, let's see. Search for possible sailor suspects. Where would we do that? Let's have a look. Rock of Gibraltar, 1893. The name of the ship and the date of the Lady Brackenstall and her maid voyage from Australia. 1893. East Africa country. Rock of Gibraltar's arrival. Let's have a look through all of these.
My search must be focused upon the ship's name and year of voyage.
Well, so sorry for wanting to look at all the hard work the devs put in, which is apparently enough. I never finished this game, and I think this is the case I stopped at. Ooh. Newness for you. Alright, the Rock of Gibraltar. Arrival at the Rock of Gibraltar. A ship returned. The Rock of Gibraltar, a bulk carrier from the Adelaide Southampton London line, Cunard Building, James Street, London, has returned from a 6-month voyage through India, New Zealand, and Australia. The ship brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the heiress of the Fraser family, owning land and tin mines in Australia. This reportedly beautiful young lady is presently engaged to Sir Eustace Brackenstall, one of the wealthiest gentlemen in Kent. So, that's why she enjoys so many fine things. She is not a lady of commonhood. She is actually an heiress. This illuminates things.
Here it is.
She's got a lot of secrets she's hiding from us.
The shipping company, the Adelaide Southampton London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Specialist, you say? Task for Wiggins. The address of the Rock of Gibraltar's ship owner, and where we can find the crew list there. I see. Lady Brackenstall, not quite 25, is from a wealthy Australian family. She has been married for little more than a year. She has, in all probability, suffered physical violence over the course of the last fortnight. The lady lives a solitary lifestyle, seldom venturing outside. Alright. Time to signal our friend, Mr. Wiggins. Wiggins! You damn bastard,
Wiggins,
get over
would you
here!
Come upstairs, please.
It's time to call in the urchins.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
How he's going to remember all that?
Straight
is
on
amazing.
it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
Only 3 hours later and they've got it. My God.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Expertly handled, Wiggins. Now, let's have a look-see.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
Murder date was November the 7th. I see. October 17th. Arrival in Adelaide, Australia. Okay. So, murder date was 94. Departure from London, England on October 17th. Today is November 7th. November 8th. Departure from London, England on November 10th, 1984. Arrival in March, England, 1985. Departure from Adelaide, Australia on May 6th. Arrival in London, November 12th. Impossible. Could not have been there. Rock of Gibraltar. Arrival in Adelaide, Australia. Departure from London, England. Nope. So what about here? Departure from London, England on November 10th, 1984. Rock of Gibraltar. Duncan.
Mr. Jack Crocker
There
was
we
in
go.
London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
A perfect way to get out of town quick. Now, Henry Southward, Herbert Willington, Mr. William Partridge, Jack Crocker, Southward, not here, Fishford, Vanderlind, Walker.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
And
This
Herbert
officer
Whittington.
is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
So, we simply need to whittle down everybody. Alright then. James Talcott, Henry
I do
Southward.
not think that this sailor has any connection to the case.
Nah, that was a misclick.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
As with Ernest J. Woods,
This
Jr.
officer is
Second
still
Officer.
at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Mr. William Partridge is not on this list, so we continue. Herbert Hawkins Partridge, there
This
you are.
officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
And Charles W. Chill,
This
Captain.
officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
That leaves Mr.
Captain
Jack Crocker.
Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
I see. Alright then. Mr. Jack Crocker is somebody we're going to have a nice, polite conversation with.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
Crocker is a crooked surname, though. Alright. Mr. Wiggins. We have one more
Wiggins,
favor to ask.
Could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
You've got a gun, and I've got my wits and my fists. We'll live. I just want to have a talk with the man.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Alright, first we're going to make a profile of you very quickly. Very nice beard. Clear look, honest, straight edge. The man can definitely sail a ship. Fur coat, strong build, definitely fits our profile here. no ring. Interesting. What's this? Newspaper ink. I see. Clean boots. Clean boots on a sailor. Either you treasure them a mite much, and look at that. A fresh dagger, well kept, in good order, in a leather scabbard. He's mighty tall, mighty well built, definitely capable of killing a man, and with a gaze that says, wherever his ship sails, it shall be true to its destination.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
Good guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Well, let's talk about what you did. You tied her up.
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Sailor's knots, my friend.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. The theory is flawed, anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Intriguing.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
Crocker's statement. Captain Crocker knows Lady Brackenstall, but he may be lying about his occupation on the night of the murder. Captain Crocker is the only sailor who was aboard the Rock of Gibraltar with Lady Brackenstall and her maid, who is currently in London. So, let's say Crocker is lying. His involvement is clear. He appeared as soon as he heard I was looking for him, thus signaling his guilt. Or Crocker's alibi. Well, let's start with this. Should we do this? That confirms that the captain is the killer. Sir Eustace was murdered by one person who was visiting that night. The murderer is tall and agile, and a high-ranking sailor. Jack Crocker is a murderer, and we should arrest him. And you will bring him and his accomplice, Lady Brackenstall, to justice. Or, we absolve Captain Crocker. The murder was committed in self-defense. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and dipsomaniacal man. The mystery is solved, but you decide to keep it secret. There is no need to inform the police. But the other idea, Crocker's alibi. According to Crocker, he was aboard the Sharp on the night of the murder. He was not afraid to confront me. He had a confident demeanor. that does not work with everything we've worked up to thus far. I think it's high time we go talk with the dear lady again. Maybe ask about her side of the relationship. Or it may actually be high time that we solve this case. This will be a very short stream. This is a very short case. It can't just be this open and shut. But the deduction icon is there because we've explored all possibilities. Maybe.
Holmes, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to think of.
So sorry.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
Ooh.
Please leave my Mary alone. She suffered so much, she deserved...
Very well then. Do I agree with that assessment? Yeah, it's supposed to be one stream per case. We did start at 6 p.m. We expected this to go on much longer than it has. Let's look at this again. So, let's piece this all together ourselves here really quick. 3, there were 2 wine glass drinkers here. 2 people drinking wine. Lady Brackenstall and the sailor, whom she loved. Her husband hears the commotion downstairs and wakes up to see the sailor, you know, finagling with his lady. Gets angry. Rage enters him. Or maybe... Wait... 3 people. Imitated robbery, but that doesn't make sense. The Randall gang, I see. So this is the only conclusion we can draw here. No acquaintance. Let's say Crocker has an alibi. And robbery is the motive. The Randalls are the only choice for that one, so it must be the one that has the most corroborating evidence. Because it simply cannot be the Randalls. Acquainted with a sailor. Crocker's alibi is ironclad. But let's think about this carefully. Our current conclusions are as follows. The Randalls are guilty. But that doesn't make any sense. Because there was a discrepancy in her description. An elderly man with broad shoulders. One of the boys had broad shoulders. He was tall with a misshapen head. The elderly man, had an average build. Nothing of real note except for his graying hair. And there was a third boy that she failed to mention anything about. She screamed after. She screamed. And the maid came down to talk to her. Oh, B. I got bad news for both of you. Hi, Ryan. So the case may or may not be solved early. Which means we may have to go long. Very, very long. Oh dear. We're currently determining the conclusion to this case. I'll walk you through it, seeing as you guys just got here. So, welcome to the estate of Blackwell. I'm going to try and piece this one together myself. Eustace Blackwell has been murdered in his own home. According to Lady Blackwell, and get well soon, be, please. I've seen too many people recently go get sick because of overwork. I hope you get to take care of yourself afterwards. Lady Blackwell. She is the mistress of the house. Arrived from Australia nary but less than over a year ago. Her husband, Eustace, is very wealthy. Very, very wealthy, but also very, very sick. He's apparently afflicted with cirrhosis, hardened liver, and other ailments, along with a rage that comes whenever he drinks liquor. The bad news is that the stream is possibly about to end. But I'll go on a bit longer. We started an hour early because I thought this investigation was going to be longer than this. So, to paint a picture, Miss Brackenstall, Lady Brackenstall, is not by any means common folk. She arrived from Australia, an heiress, and married a wealthy man in England because she had nobody else to turn to. Teresa is her loyal maid, also traveled with her from Australia. The way I figure it is that they were not happy. She was beaten every week or so because of his blind, drunken rage, and we found a note in here that described everything about the good man. Or should I say the devil of a man. Charming when he was sober, a devil when he was drunk. It may even run in this family. Here is the murder scene. This is Mr. Blackwell, as he is post-mortem. Apparently when he heard intruders, as Miss Blackwell describes, she was first surprised by the intruders, then punched in the face, hence the big bruise on her eye. Gagged, she was then bound to this here chair with sailor knots. And the place was ravaged, ransacked, but only the silver was stolen and a bottle of wine. I believe this wine to be right here.
Chateau Calon-Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru.
Somebody was sharing 3 of these. 3 glasses.
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured.
We believe there was only 2 people having a glass. And the third simply seems to be staged. Meant to insinuate that there were 3 people here. Quickly, hastily, without being decanted. That's it! This proves that there was only 2 people here. Before being decanted. Yeah, good luck with that, B. Stay safe, stay warm. Or rather, stay cool if need be. Because it is hot around where you're at. Okay, this is now coming together. So, right now, decanted means, basically, to have a proper swig of wine, you want to decant it first. And to decant is basically to purify it, without the bee swill at the bottom. Drinking directly from the wine bottle, I have to assume, basically means that there's going to be a congealing of something at the very bottom of your glass. Oh, good luck, B. Stay safe. Stay very safe. So, with this, I have determined that our assessment is correct. From what I understand here, Mr. What is your name, good sir? I have forgotten. You, sir. Brackenstall. Lord Eustace Brackenstall was disturbed at night. Here is how it happened in my mind here and now. So, on the night of November 7th, the sailor, Captain Jack Crocker, was was a love-struck man, a sailor who fell in love over a voyage with Miss Brackenstall. She was once a wealthy heiress from Australia, and they fell in love over the voyage from Australia, from Gibraltar, the Rock of Gibraltar, to London. Perhaps they kept in contact, maintained correspondence, and mayhaps he watched as his love became entranced by the late Eustace Brackenstall, and married. And then word of beatings got to him. Words of horrible things. And now they plotted. They planned. With the letter in hand, with that newspaper, they either plotted or by happenstance happened to find themselves in the perfect situation. So, two theories here. One, this was not premeditated murder. Crocker was simply visiting her late at night. In the wee hours of the night, around 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., Crocker was visiting, sharing a drink with Miss Brackenstall, with Lady Brackenstall. Eustace wakes up, hears the commotion downstairs, and, with his cane out, charges at Crocker. Unfortunately, Crocker manages to deftly get out of the way, and Eustace Brackenstall falls headfirst onto the grate. It's a shock. It's a horrid shock. And immediately Crocker knows that he'll be blamed for murder. And there's no way for Miss Brackenstall to simply just write it off as an accident. Maybe she will be blamed for the murder. So, in a mad dash, the both of them conspire in the moment. First, the newspaper informs them of exactly who Brackenstall. Yeah. Brackenstall, yes. The newspaper informs them of who could have possibly done it. The Randalls. Easy to frame. Especially easy with a sailor right next to you. He ties her into knots. Sailor knots. To the chair. Smacks her good in the face to make it look convincing. Steals the silverware. Ransacks the place. And then puts a lovely love tap, or coats the damn thing in his blood. Makes off with the silverware. Running through, she tells him about the seeds of rice. Finds them in here. One empty sack. Puts the silverware into there. Not intending to steal the silverware, simply dumps it into the well. and then forthright escapes through here.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall.
Then the lady screams, bloody murder, and her maid comes down to find her slugged, tied up, and the poor lord of the house dead. That is my assumption. That is assuming nobody is at fault for this murder. Or it could have been premeditated. It could have been thought out. It could have been malicious. But in the end, I believe this was a crime of passion. The counter-argument is that Crocker and Lady Brackenwell... Brackenwell? Oh, dear. Brackenstall, yes. The last idea is that Lady Brackenstall and Crocker devised this plan. They lured him down here, or perhaps they drugged him with another bit of wine, forced him to become angry, enraged, forcing Crocker to kill him with a hot poker nearby. Hence why there are 2 glasses. Hence why 2 people were drinking. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think this was an accident. And it was made to look like murder, so that she would be exonerated. I must say that Captain Crocker and the Lady Brackenstall are innocent. But the captain is the killer. Sir Eustace was murdered by the one person who was visiting that night. The murderer is tall and agile, and a high-ranking sailor. But there's no more clues left to find, unfortunately. 2 people. Imitated robbery. Randall's blame, and a poker blow. What about a deadly accident? No. It had to have been with a poker blow. He has to be the killer. Only 3 conclusions, though. That's intriguing. That's very intriguing. Well. We have ads coming up, so unfortunately we do have to stall for time. I believe this is the true outcome. The captain has to be the killer. But it was committed in self-defense. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and dipsomaniacal man. The mystery is solved, but you decide to keep it a secret. There's no need to inform the police. I believe this to be the case. I believe it to be a crime of passion, and moreover, a necessary crime. So, we will take a small break while we wait for the ads to pass over. I'm gonna go use the restroom really quick, and the ad should start shortly. I'll be back in a bit to chat a bit with the detectives on the YouTube side while we wait for the ads to roll. How many more crimes have you committed today, Calaveras? I broke into a safe. That's 1. And then I stole something from Scotland Yard by the use of sea urchins, so that's 2. This stream. Pretty bad, honestly, not gonna lie. Pretty bad. But yeah, don't worry. I'm still innocent. Totally. But we'll be right back after these messages. Don't go anywhere. And we're back for now. Sorry, Twitch side folks, you're going to be in ad hell for a little bit while we determine the outcome of this adventure. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. I guess while we're waiting here, we can definitely just have a small chat. We've done all of our thinking out here. We know who's the killer. But I'm disappointed this was such a short stream. I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, I can't go on longer because if I start another case, it's going to go for 6 hours, and I don't know if I can do that. Talking around a dead man, talking to a dead man too. Yeah. Yeah, see? It's nothing to worry about. It's just one of them's got flesh and is currently oozing out his internal fluids, and the other one's, got internal fluids, but they ain't oozing out. I'm more normal, a little bit more normal. Oh man, I can't wait for the mystery quiz. I can't wait. Y'all are gonna suffer. But I can't talk about it because V's listening. I can't talk about it because people, what is it, Franky potentially could watch it. B's listening in. And then Forrest is just a godlike detective. Better than me, for sure. Hi, B. Oh, shit, by the way, thank you again. Thank you again, B, for the gifted games. Over the last 24 hours, B decided to pick me up, Alice in Wonderland Madness in Wonderland? Alice Madness in Wonderland, that was it, yeah. And Skyrim. Friggin' Skyrim. Madness Returns, yes. That's been on my wish list for some time. It's a very dark game, but it looks so good. Maybe we'll play it on stream one day. I do know they were relatively cheap, so I just want to say again, thank you, B. Face to face. I set the schedule after stream for a reason. Okay, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. My bad. Sorry. Thank you. But sorry. Thank you. But sorry. But thank you. Do you see where my brain does not work right? Anyway. Let my deeds go thankless. Alright. You're still getting a thank you through Discord, though. That's never gonna change. This case is pretty much wrapped up. And it's a crime of passion. What is it? It's interesting. I think all of these cases have been somehow, in some way or another, about an asshole who dies and then has people who are really good that killed said asshole. It's interesting. I don't know how they keep getting away with it, but I keep feeling like I should exonerate everybody who I meet. If I want a live reaction, you'll know. Gotcha. Alright. It's time to wrap this one up, and I guess I get to have an early dinner for once. Ain't that nice? No, you're good, B. You're good. Sorry I have to end so soon. So the captain, now that everybody is on the same page, is the killer. But I think there's a bigger story to this, which is why I'm going to absolve him. And, yeah. It's 2 hours still, because I started at 6, but it feels short for a Sherlock Holmes stream, for sure. Alright.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Very short and sweet. Hey, that means we get to do another case later on in the month.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife, the knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London.
Because you love her.
Because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in
B, pull the earbuds out, be on high alert, and if necessary, call the cops. But at the same time, yes, be very aware. Pull out the earbuds and just stay on high alert. And if you need to, mute this stream. That sounds very suspicious. Or somebody just decided not to, you know. Yeah, no. Take that very seriously. Anyway, we will continue. Please be safe, B. Please be safe.
a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her.
You're good, B. Stay safe.
He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. and it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit.
Hmm.
Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
No, you don't! That is not how a gentleman deals with things! You live another day because I said so. Damn you.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox Dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
You are exonerated, good sir, for your act of charity towards a woman caged in ice.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
So sorry, but yes, this case is indeed closed. And the conclusion was correct. Sir Eustace was murdered by Captain Jack Crocker, who was visiting Lady Brackenstall that night. They staged it as a robbery by the Randall gang. Crocker used his sea knife to cut the bell rope to tie the lady, and then hid the silverware in the well. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and dipsomaniacal man, and you have decided to keep it a secret. Thus we shall, thus we have, and thus we sleep well at night. And it won't tell us anybody who also solved it the same way, because I think the servers are dead and gone. Q Cardin's Drama. Yes, that's a lovely case, but we won't have time to play it, I'm afraid. Oh, music. Sweet music was about to play. But that's it for Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments, I'm afraid. A very short investigation, I must admit. I did not expect it, but, you know, with my voice as it is, maybe it is for the best. Glad you at least got to see the end of this case, yes. And it's going to be a short VOD for you to watch back if you'd like. Yes, this was fun. This was very fun. Very open and shut. At least, it tried to be. But I'm glad it had a lovely round of twists, and we got to play as a dog, damn it! We got to play as a dog! I'd say that was worth our time, for sure. Now, on the Twitch side of things, I should find somebody to send y'all to. But first, we're going to head back to the lobby. I want to thank you again, everybody, for showing up, late or early as you did. Thank you, Centurion, for being here. We are going to have our schedule come out on Sunday at... Saturday? Saturday, as per usual. And you can expect more Call of Cthulhu very soon. I do hope B is okay. B will probably tell me through DMs later how it went down, but don't worry. B is very smart, very astute, and probably very fast to run away. So, have no fear, I'm sure B will be just fine. But until we meet again, the schedule will be on Saturday, Call of Cthulhu will be on Sunday, and the month of mystery shall continue. For now, for the Twitch side of things, I am going to send you over to... Who do we feel like sending y'all over to? Ooh. Well, I think it's time to clap back at a good friend of ours. Folks, it's time for some Final Fantasy II, starring Dahlia Inkheart. I wish you a lovely time, and I hope you all have a good rest of your night. As always, the raid message is Bone Rush. I will see you all over there, and then I'm going to take my leave to go eat. So, take care of yourselves, be safe, and as always, memento vivere, memento mori, and enjoy writing your life story.